it's Christmas. It's still Christmas. It will be Christmas now, I guess. If you're going to go by the traditional way of celebrating Christmas, I guess people still do the 12 days of Christmas. So, and that starts on the 25th, I think. I don't think it's several days before the 25th and several days after. I think it's 25th, marks the beginning of Christmas, and then 12 days after the 25th marks the season of Christmas or whatever, traditionally. So we're still very well within the season of Christmas yet. I mean, even though we're gone 2 or 3 days past Christmas Day now, sort of thing. And we have New Year's coming up now in a couple of days' time, but traditionally we are still within the Christmas season as well. So considering that it's still the Christmas season, the discussion right now, guys, is well, it's about why we even do all this. You know, what the purpose for the season. The reason for the season, there, guys, is a thing that I want to chit chat, just have a general discussion about here now, and. Now again, nothing is scripted here, so I got to whip this up now on the spur of the moment, what I want to talk about here and where I want to go with this conversation and so on and so forth. And hopefully I can get, bring something of substance into this off the top of my head. And just give you some food for thought, guys, for why we do what we're doing this time of the year. So, again, like I said, I've been kicking around now for 59 years, guys. Soon be 60 years. So, I've got like 59 odd Christmases now under my belt. Wow, man, I don't remember the ones before, like 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 years of age, 5 or 6 years of age. So I guess, 55 odd Christmases on my belt then that I can more or less remember. That 55 odd years, guys, looking back over it and looking back over the how people have been celebrating Christmas over this past 55 odd years throughout the course of my lifetime, from the 70s up until now, guys. And how some attitudes have changed, how a lot of stuff hasn't changed, and how many things, as far as I'm concerned, guys, have not changed for the better. Now here's my cat now, guys. Here's what she does now. She has got no clue what I'm trying to do here right now. She's going to be up in my face tormenting me now, I guarantee you, and distract me while I'm trying to concentrate on this. I gave her a chance to play now for about half an hour or so earlier, and she just kept sitting back and ignoring me and all the rest of the sort of things. She wasn't in the mood at the time, or I wasn't doing it right or whatever. So we'll see if she just sits down, leaves me alone, and lets me do what I got to do here. I can go out in the kitchen, or I can go into the washroom, I suppose, and close the door or whatever, or go up the road somewhere or whatever, I don't know. But got to do it here, guys, where she's to, and this is the downside of living in the bachelor, see, because over on Larkaw I had the house and 3 bedrooms. My bedroom, my kitchen, I could just shove her off into one of the spare rooms and so on that and do the sort of stuff without too many distractions, but it's not as easy to do that here now, unfortunately, guys. So, anyway, as I was saying, I was brought up in a very conventional background, guys. Anybody knows Newfoundland? any bit well at all, rural Newfoundland, will know that it's very traditional. It's a very traditional culture, and people do things the way people have been doing things now to a very large degree. It's starting to change now, but for the past 200 years or so. And so I grew up in a highly religious background, even though, people didn't consider themselves religious, as in born again, that sort of thing, the way evangelical Christian people, go on about it, sort of thing. You still had these kind of religious traditions that we followed regardless. And one of those things, of course, was the way we celebrated Christmas and the importance of keeping Christ in Christmas, So I very, very seldom heard the term like Merry Xmas sort of thing when I was growing up. I did come across it occasionally, but it never ever made any sense to me. And very, very early on, guys, when I was still a kid, it was as plain as day. I mean, Xmas, you're crossing Christ out of Christmas. It's as plain as day, And I always hated the term Merry Xmas. It made no sense to me, So I never ever used the term myself. I mean, if I was going to celebrate the season, I was celebrating Christmas. I wasn't celebrating Xmas, and it made no sense to me. But thankfully, like I said, that wasn't a term many people use very often back home when I was growing up. Throughout the 70s and 80s and so on and so forth. So Christmas was kept very Christ-oriented sort of thing. Even if you weren't necessarily overly religious, people understood they were celebrating Yeshua's birthday. Or what traditionally we've been saying for the past well over 1,000 years, 1,500, 600, 700 years or so, as being Yeshua's birthday. And this is all the stuff I'm going to get into now if I have the time, the chance to do it. And that was all very well and good. Growing up and being exposed to that, guys, because it helped to bring some deeper meaning to the whole reason for doing the thing, for bothering to begin with, sort of thing, to have the celebration to begin with, sort of thing. So, I mean, along with that, of course, it was the family thing and spending time with family and having a Christmas dinner together and doing a decorating together, and, like all that was part of it as well. Though we, I tell you, we had some scenes back in my home, with the decorating and everything kind of connected with Christmas, my family and my brothers probably won't like hearing me saying this, my younger brother in particular, but it's the facts of the situation, guys. It was far from the proper Christmas spirit, that's for sure, because we had all kinds of goings on all the time, and my mom was always sick and all that sort of stuff and blah, blah, blah. But, it was always in the back of my mind. Christmas is about Christ. Christmas, at the end of the day, fundamentally, the whole purpose for doing the whole thing is to remember Christ, to remember Yeshua, to remember that life that came into this world to enlighten humanity, to show us a better way of living, guys, to show us how to be better human beings, and so on and so forth. That's the way I have always, my entire life, even from a religious background, that was always more the way that I perceived it, rather than all the dogma of the religion itself that says that it came to save us from our sins and all that sort of stuff, the way the religion goes on about it, sort of thing. So I went through all of that. I went through that throughout my childhood, guys, and my young adult years and all the rest of it. I've already done videos about my religious background, sort of thing, how at 8 years of age I sort of had a personal spiritual experience where I accepted the existence of God, as I understood God at such a young age. And this was about a year or so after my grandmother had passed away, and questioning all of that and so on and so forth. And then at 12 years of age, I did the whole religious thing, the whole Christian religious thing, Christian evangelical fundamentalist thing, of getting saved, getting saved, a term that we use in a lot of Protestant denominations and so on, that, and accepting Jesus into your life as your Lord and Savior. I did all that, guys. I went through that at 12 years of age. And from that point on, from 12 to 17, 18, 19 years of age, guys, I was heavily involved with the Salvation Army, my home church, back out in Twillgate, where I'm from originally. And just like really steeped into the dogma of the religion and all the rest of it sort of thing, Even though, as far back as I remember, guys, I've had my own way of thinking about things and understanding things and so on and so forth. And that is carried with me throughout my entire life. So I never, ever, 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 at any point in my life, guys, as far back as I can remember, had this mentality or whatever of just mindlessly, senselessly accepting what I was told, that this is the way we do things, this is what we believe, blah, 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 you don't question it, you just accept what we're telling you, and that's it, that's our belief system, and, and this is how you be religious, this is how you're saved, and how you're going to go to heaven, and blah, 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 and everybody that I knew around me, guys, growing up, they were like that. Everybody that became saved, as far as I could tell, was like that. Had that kind of mentality where they didn't question anything, didn't search deeper, didn't think deeper, and so on and so forth. And that was my religious background. As I'm sure it's been the religious background of a great many people as well, that eventually move away from this particular religion and start thinking for yourself and start asking the deeper questions. Half an hour in there now, guys. I may go another half hour here now, and that'd be my video. That'd be I should have enough time on a chip for that, I think. So that will put it into, I think, 3 segments roughly, 3 or 4 segments possibly. So there'll be parts of this, I guess, people will watch more than other parts. Parts people will enjoy more than other parts, and so on and so forth. So I'd say around 17, 18 odd years of age, guys. 19 years of age for sure. By the time I was almost into my young adult years, I had pretty significantly pulled away from the religion enough that I could say that I was really no longer Christian in the Christian, guys. I get a kick out of doing that because you probably do it. It looks silly doing it, but you know what I mean. Like, what I mean by that. Christian in the sense that the religiously dogmatic think of being a Christian. I couldn't classify myself as that any longer. And I haven't been able to classify myself as that for a very, very long time now, guys, since my late teenagers years. Because I couldn't stop thinking. I couldn't stop contemplating stuff and asking the deeper questions and never getting satisfactory answers from anybody. And being somewhat disheartened and almost a little bit disgusted with those around me who didn't even bother to ask the questions to begin with. And and being told that, you think this way, you start asking these questions, this is not good, that's the devil putting evil thoughts in your mind, don't be thinking that way, don't be asking those kinds of blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I said to myself, I have a brain. Why was I given a brain if I'm not supposed to freaking use it? And that occurred to me so early on in my life, guys. We have a brain. God, whatever God is, gave us a brain. We are sentient creatures, guys. We are sentient, self-aware creatures. So, like, you have to think, like, about everything, about absolutely everything. So that includes religion as well. And everything that's pushed down your throat throughout your life that you're expected to accept, you have to think about it. You have to reason it through. You have to weigh the pros and cons and determine for yourself whether it makes sense and if it's grounded in solid facts and reasoning and something that's provable and substantiated and substantiable. That's a word, whatever. Or else what's the point of just holding on to it and accepting it, So when it comes to Christmas, for example, that was one of the earlier things. I think I found out fairly early on, I suppose in my mid-teens maybe, that it was the consensus, or a growing consensus anyway, or probably a complete consensus within the academic field for hundreds of years, for all I know, that Jesus, Yeshua, was not born on December 25th. Again, like I said, I don't know the exact age I was, guys. When I first heard that one, I'm sure I was probably in my mid-teens. Maybe I was even in my early teens. That Jesus, Yeshua, was not born on December the 25th. So then, I had to reason that out in my mind and say to myself, well, okay then, this is supposed to be his birthday. We're celebrating it because it's supposed to be the date of his birth. So if it's not actually the date of his birth, what's it all about? Well, why are we doing it? Like, it's still a nice tradition. It's still, like, everything connected with it, all the decorating, the pomp and the ceremony, the parades and all the gaiety, the fun aspects of it, sort of thing. And given that it is December the 25th, it's in the winter time. It's a great break from the friggin' winter and the depressing aspects of winter and so on. So it's it's a great thing to celebrate anyway. But if it's not being celebrated for what I thought would have been the right reason back then, why are we even bothering?